Good morning everybody, and this is your DAX setups for today. So yeah, that was quite a big plunge, and economic data, tech stocks are getting hammered again. We are in a pretty strong zone of support. Just want to get two levels in here, so that gives you the indication of where we are. If you just scroll left, and even better if you just go to the weekly, you're going to see absolute chaos. So we do have this weekly divergence here and a massive big weekly engulfing bar at the moment. Yeah, so if you actually zoom out on the weekly, this is something which is forming pretty much on all the indexes. Is this it's almost a megaphone formation, but expanding triangle. It's a consolidation zone. It's just really volatile, and when you look at it on the weekly or even on the monthly, you're going to see a bit of a weird flag forming. But we are at all-time highs on a lot of stocks, so the question is, is it going to continue, or what is going to happen? And if they start cutting interest rates, obviously that's going to stimulate spend. So anything can happen. Right. Nothing really else on the 8 hour. We are easing off from the oscillators here. We are still in an uptrend. We have not tested the 150 EMA break, which is roughly on a pin bar here at 18,345. So that is a downside target at the moment, but this trend is really strong to the upside. So I would be treating this as a pullback. When we look at the 3 hour, oscillators group quite nicely to the downside, and I mean, if you just scroll back in the trend, you're going to find diversions. But obviously you've got multiple sessions up here where there is no diversions, but you will find diversions in the chart. We do have a crossover, but now we're in amongst all the moving averages, so that could indicate that we are going to go into a range. And when we start getting down to levels we want to be trading, I just want to put this, there was a clear break here at 18. Let's just round that off to 18,900. Clear break, so that would have been a retest attempt, but if you look just below that, there was another level here, which is what we tested. We'll look at this on the 15-minute. Looking at it on the hour, we've got a crossover all the moving averages. Been a really, really big day. 2% move in the market. Group to the downside, all the oscillators group to the downside, and we're at the next zone to speak of. But the thing is that we've broken through every single one of these fractals. So every single level that was built over the last couple of days has been shattered in one day. And that's just panic on Nvidia. For example, Nvidia was down 10% yesterday. So that's just panic on the tech stocks, which is impacting everybody. Right, so let's just have a look at hindsight here. Always a good example. So we do have this little mini zone here that I showed you. That's 18,900, 18,890, and you can see how we broke through it. Formed a flag below the moving averages. Oscillator's not helping us, but a bit of a range bar. Two weird pin bars. Not sure I would have taken it, but that is your signal, to be all honest. And I did say to you yesterday, you're looking for these swing lows to break, and they did break. And once they broke, it accelerated quite quickly. So there was definitely an opportunity here below the moving averages. But my view yesterday was just to sit tight and wait for break lower down and retest, which didn't happen. So that's not going to help you at all, I suppose. What's happening at the moment is we are on a very big weekly level, and even if I just highlight this, so you can see this previous week high. It's not exact on the zone that I've given you because it's down on the 8 hour chart, but if I come to the daily, you see how clear this area is. So there's so much structure in between, in actual fact, in between 18,582 and 18,345. There's so much structure here. Now V reversals are rare, so I would expect this to come to structure and then have another attempt higher. And if it forms a lower high, then we know we're going to be stuck in this massive range for quite some time. So for me, on the lower time frames, it does look like you want to be short, but you want to be short higher up. So I'm not going to do all of them because we'll be here forever. But every single one of these levels that have broken, and you're going to look at them on the bottom of price and you're going to look at them on the top of price. So every fractal that is broken to the downside is your potential area of support. This could be an exhaustion bar, an after hours exhaustion bar, so be careful of it. You'd almost want to be looking somewhere up here at 18,733, and then even clearer is this big tail, and that lines up quite nicely with the 150. So 18,777. Those are the two zones that I would be paying attention for a break. While rejection for a move down. Just bear in mind that that breaks this trend line, so it could fail. But that's the only zone that I'd be looking for a short. I'm not interested in shorts down here, and longs are not going to come into play today. You're going to want the moving averages to settle down, and you're going to want to break structure and start building, so it'll be quite volatile if longs do come in, and I'm not really in the mood for that. So you'll have to wait for the moving averages crossovers before you start looking at that. Anyway, the moral story today is probably sit tight unless you get a rejection higher up, which makes sense, and then you can get another continuation at the downside. But just be careful of that, because there's more data coming out today and tomorrow, so anything can happen. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.